Hello everybody, welcome, happy Friday. The topic in today's video in this series on being in our power is the lesson of the trigger. I started off the week by talking about the difference between ego power and real power. And so ego power, ego thinks it is within its power when it has power over something. It's all about manipulating a situation, having control over a situation, and having power over someone. Real power is about having power within a situation. It's about being able to access our power regardless of what the outside looks like, regardless of the circumstances. And real power is about self-mastery, about mastery over ourselves in a situation, in any situation. A trigger is the perfect example of how ego can take one perspective and at the same time the complete opposite. So ego's sense of power is to have power over something, over a situation. It feels it's in its power when it can manipulate any situation to how it thinks is in our best interests. At the same time, ego is really good at giving away our power. So there's nothing like a trigger to show us about how easily we will give away our power. Now, I want to just preface what I'm going to say in this video with: today is not about focusing on the response. It's not about absolving someone of responsibility. It's not about saying to stay in situations that are unhealthy or disrespectful or abusive. But on any focus of our power, I would be doing you a disservice if I did not share with you the lesson that is within each and every trigger that we encounter. So today, I would love you to really focus on when you are triggered, when you encounter a trigger, be from whatever the source is. Understand that the trigger, the effect that the trigger has on us, the ability that the trigger has to get us to react. So the extent of our reaction to a trigger shows us where we have some healing to do. It shows us where we are giving our power away to an outside force, to something or to someone or to a thought or to a memory that is outside of our power. Does that make sense? So, what's an example? You encounter something on social media, you feel, and you want to respond. You would put in yesterday's lesson, which is the power of the pause. Put in the power of the pause. You would say, I decide what this means. But then so today you would add on, you would stop. You stop and you think, why am I so triggered by this? Because what happens when we give our power away to triggers? When we are triggered by something or someone and we go into the reaction, what we're doing is we're making, not only are we fully out of our power, fully into an unconscious reaction, but what we're also doing is we're making our lives about them. Ego, if you really tune into your ego will spend all day, every day, trying to figure out other people's intentions. Why did they say that? What is it that they need to learn? Your ego and mine, each one of us, will spend more hours focusing on trying to figure out life lessons for other people than it will spend trying to figure out life lessons for us. And that's where I want you to take the ball. Take control of that. When there is a trigger, just for today, this is not the completion of your work within this trigger, but how you go from trigger to unconscious reaction to trigger, hang on, what's my lesson here? How you do that is by recognizing that anything that triggers you does hold a lesson for you. Okay, so remember, this isn't about how you respond. This isn't about who to have in your life and who not to have in your life. This isn't about saying that, you know, all's fair and that, you know, that people aren't responsible for their actions. It's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that in order to stay in our power, to achieve mastery over ourselves, to achieve power within any situation, today, when we encounter a trigger, whatever that may be, it might be a thought that you have, it might be a memory, it might be something someone says, someone does, something you observe. Instead of letting ego figure out what they need to learn, and I better set them clear on this, and I better let them know this is what they need to understand, we recognize my life is about me. So this is what I want. This is the practical tip for today. When you are triggered, stop, breathe, and say to yourself, my life is about me. And knowing that my life is about me, what is here for me to heal? Particularly, this is for the stuff that really trigger. You know, when you feel yourself, when you feel a reaction like a punch in the gut, or a straight into anger, straight into a reaction. Hang on. Because I'm about to have a really unconscious reaction to this. I'm about to keep really old stuff going. And instead of figuring out what the lesson is here for me, I'm about to shove it all back onto them and say, well, you know what you need to know. And it's about time that you learn. And here's what, you know, here's the truth, Okay, and understand that every time we do that, we're handing them our power. We're handing the situation our power. Not necessarily them, because they might not even be asking for our power. This could be a very one-sided sort of interaction, in the sense that they're left thinking, I don't know what just happened, which is what often happens when we trigger someone else. We're left thinking, I don't know what just happened. So let's really own our side of that. Today, being in our power is going to be all about understanding the lesson of the trigger. And you don't already have to follow it, but know what the lesson is today. But just recognizing, okay, hang on, my life is about me. So what has just been triggered here that I need to heal? And just ask the question. Just allow space for the answer to come to you. Okay, so our focus today is on the lesson of the trigger, recognizing that to the extent that we get triggered, that's the extent we're really giving our power away. We have forgotten who we are. I've forgotten who I am. I've gone, here, have all my power. I'm going to go into this unconscious reaction loop. You can have all of my power. Today, whatever triggers us, understanding that, in fact, the more strongly we get triggered, the more it's about us, the more an unhealed aspect of us has just gone, I need looking at. And ego will say, they created that. They did that. No, they didn't. Maybe someone at some time put that there, but for today, let's own it. And let's just ask, okay, knowing my life is about me, so let's spend today figuring us out and not figuring everyone else out, not trying to figure out, how come they haven't woken up yet? How come they're still asleep? How come they haven't figured that out? How come he's still talking about that? How come she always says that to me? How come what's, trying to figure out everybody's lessons. Ego does that in a quest to kind of like keep us from ourselves. If we live our whole lives like that, this is when people lie on their deathbed and say, oh God, all the important things, I didn't do them. I ignored them. If we live our whole lives trying to figure everybody else out, where are we in that? And today, when you get triggered, make it about you. Bring it back to you. What unhealed part of me has just been activated? What's my lesson in this? Knowing my life is about me, what's my lesson in this? Okay. Today, we're moving up with the chakra activations to throat chakra. So your throat chakra is obviously in your throat. And a lot of people have issues with throat chakras. Being able to speak their truth, feeling like they can speak from an empowered place. So this is what we really want to focus on today, speaking from our power. real power, not ego power. Ego power would be all about being loud and being forceful and, you know, I have a right to speak my truth and you will hear me and I will speak over you. And real power will come from recognizing that my power comes from how lovingly I can express myself. My power comes from knowing when to use my voice, knowing when I will not use my voice. My power comes from giving myself the right to speak my truth. My power comes from backing what I say, right? So that's the kind of thing that I'm going to focus on today as well. So let's move into that throat activation. So I want you to close your eyes, just take a couple of minutes. A nice deep conscious breath in through the nose and breathing out. Feel yourself relaxing, feet flat on the ground. Another nice deep conscious breath in and feel your focus moving down your body and relaxing as it moves down your torso. Nice deep conscious breath in and relaxing all the way down your legs to your feet and feeling, sensing into your feet on the floor, on the ground. And I want you to feel into, sense, see, feel a golden light, a golden beam coming from the center of the earth. Moving up through the earth, through the layers, through the ground and into your feet. And now that golden light fills your legs as it makes its way up your body to the base of your spine. And now it moves up to the lower part of your abdomen and it fills your abdomen up to your belly button. And then it moves all the way up your torso to your heart area. It fills your chest, golden light flowing all the way from the center of the earth, all the way up your feet, your legs, all the way up through your abdomen to your torso to your chest area. And now it moves up to your throat. Take a nice deep relaxing breath in and feel that golden light right there in your throat. And as you breathe out, see that golden light beaming out from your throat. Beaming out, shining out, all the way from the center of the earth, all the way out through your body and shining out through your throat area. And I want you to say, I speak from my power. I speak from my power. Another nice deep breath in and wriggle your toes and roll your shoulders and you can open your eyes when you feel ready. Today, let's really focus on speaking in our power. That is not about being loud. That is not about making sure that we are heard. That is not about sharing our opinion no matter what, no matter with who, no matter how. That is about speaking from our heart, speaking in support of ourselves, speaking from a place of being our ally, connecting in with our power, our real power, and speaking from that place. Okay. The cards, not yet the oil. Okay. So as with each morning, I am going to test up an oil. It has shown that I need to test it during the recording of this video. So let's see what shows up for us to help us today as we learn the lesson of the trigger. Lemon tea tree. Beautiful. Glorious smell. I love all the lemons. The lemon tea tree is a particularly beautiful one. Let me see what the meaning of lemon tea tree is. Independence. Independence. And that, so the message of this oil is independence, and that's what's showing up for us. Independence, speaking independently. Okay, what does that mean? Independence from the trigger. So independence, so I am my own being. I have my own point of view. I have my own understanding and my own insights and my own experiences, and I shall honor that. Okay, I shall honor that. That's really what the oil wants us to know. I am my own independent being. I have my own point of view, and I shall honor that. Okay, it's really about the lesson of the trigger, understanding that when a trigger comes, just honor you, honor you, honor you. You can honor you at the same time as asking, where is there something unhealed in me? Because really what happens is when you are triggered and you start pouring all of your focus on the thing that has triggered you, and you start to try and figure out, why would they do that? Why would they say that? And you start, the anger flows to that person, your attention, your focus will flow to that person or that thing. And then you're trying to kind of problem solve it almost from their perspective and for them. And it leaves you hanging. You're left high and dry behind while your ego's gone to fight some battle that isn't even really yours, and try to figure something out that's not yours to figure out. Stay with yourself when you are triggered today. Stay with yourself. My life is about me. So what is here for me to heal as I honor who I am? My life is about me. What is here for me to heal as I honor who I am? Okay. 2 cards have shown today from this deck, and they showed up for me to choose them before pressing record. Crystals, the stone deck. This is a really beautiful card deck that I got from a lovely friend, Steph. They show up a lot in sessions. Okay, the first one is Bismuth, I think is how you pronounce it. Bismuth. And what do we need to know from this? Okay, so when to use it. For those looking for some psychedelic influence without swallowing the red pill, lie on your back and take 10 or 100 or 1,000,000 powerful breaths through your mouth with bismuth placed on your forehead, and then break out of tired grey thought patterns and get en route to a more colourful, energized life. Okay, what do we need to know from this? What's showing up for us? So when I test through, what we need to know from this is that it's really about get rid of the old, find new ways of looking at things, find an empowered way of looking at things, bring more colour. Bring more colour to the old black and white, grey aspects of all the old patterning. Okay, so all the old patterning, it's time to rewrite it. And down the bottom it says, rewrite your code with rainbows. Now, how beautiful is that? Rewrite your code with rainbows. I'd love you to affirm that. Today, I rewrite my code with rainbows. You could say that every morning. You get out of bed and you could say, today, I rewrite my code with rainbows. I mean, how glorious, how empowering, and how joyful and beautiful is it, firstly, to rewrite your own code. To rewrite your own code is so empowering and so masterful. But then to do it with rainbows is all about different spectrums and different and higher spectrums. And the thing with a rainbow is it has all of the colors, all of the light spectrums are represented in a rainbow. And like we spoke about with the emotions, a healthy, balanced human experiences all of the emotions, right? So rewriting your code with rainbows is all about knowing I use all of my experiences, everything that comes my way for my benefit. What can I learn from this? What can I learn from that? How can I grow through this? How can I expand through that? How can that teach me? Constantly just soak it all up for you. For you. Assume that everything that comes your way, okay, is this for me? No. Is this? Yep. Okay, what can I do with it? And now I'm done with it. Really sort through things like, okay, I'm going to rewrite my code with rainbows. That's really what that's about. Anything else there? No. Okay. And the second one is this one. And this is Cavansite. Cavansite. Okay, when to use it? When it's time to speak clearly and straight from the heart. I love that. I hadn't read the back. So I love that with us today, activating throat chakra. When it's time to speak clearly and straight from the heart. Now, that's an empowered way to speak. That's an empowered way to speak. I speak clearly, I speak straight from the heart. And I guarantee you, if you do that, you can't control how it's received. You can never control that. But I guarantee if you speak clearly and straight from the heart, you are in your power and you are honoring yourself and you are honoring the person you're having a relationship with. What they do with it, we can't control that. We can't control that. When you want to get weird, ask Cavansite to make you a conduit for messages mysterious and eternal. Ask Cavansite to make you a conduit for messages mysterious and eternal. Expand your consciousness. Okay, so today, let's expand our consciousness. Let's expand our consciousness. Speaking clearly and straight from the heart, expanding our consciousness, rewriting our codes with rainbows. I mean, that's expanding our consciousness right there. Anything else we need to know? No. Okay, well, that's some great messages. I hadn't read those. So that is really interesting. They tested up before I came on, but I hadn't looked at them. I hadn't read them. It tested up to say, just see what comes up once you're within the video. So the lesson of the trigger, embrace the trigger. Oh, there's a good one. You could think that, you know, the more, oh, that's a trigger. There's a trigger. Right. Knowing my life is about me. Knowing my life can only ever be about me. What is the unhealed part of me that has just been activated? I hope you're enjoying these videos. Many of you are letting me know that you are. I'm so glad. As I said at the start, my whole intention with these videos was knowing that the greatest gift I can give to you at any time, but particularly at this time in our time on this planet, is to remind you of your power and to help you to choose your power and to be in it. So that's why this week is all about being in our power. That's why it's very practical. That's why there's info, how to choose your power, practical tips. Let's keep activating our chakras through our power from our place of empowerment, and then see what guidance comes in for you each day. As I've said each time, please like the video if you find it helpful. Leave me a comment. What has resonated? What do the cards say to you? What does the oil say to you? Are you finding the tips helpful? And of course, please share with anybody that you think these videos will also benefit. Okay, much love. Have an empowered day.